We induced hypnosis. What we found was large regions of activation in the occipital lobe.
The pictures on the left, taken before hypnosis, show no activity whatsoever. The pictures on the right show that pain is being perceived mainly in a small area of the brain, here colored in red. This stops being stimulated as the patient accepts the hypnotic suggestion that she feels no pain.
4, 3, 2.
Hypnosis is not just pretense. Something in the brain actually changes under its influence.
There is a real physiological change during hypnosis, and our data, I think, strongly support the use of hypnosis to relieve pain.
It becomes clear that pain is in the brain, not the body, and it can be dealt with by the mind alone. It is also plain that hypnosis makes an effective connection between our mind and our body, and this bridge gives us the chance to do extraordinary things.
Everyone can be hypnotized, but some people can't be hypnotized easily. When people see people up on the stage, they think to themselves, well, that couldn't be me. I can't be made to bark like a dog or squawk like a chicken. They can, but maybe not as easily as those people on stage. Everybody can be hypnotized. It's only a question of what techniques are necessary for that to occur.
Robert Farago believes hypnosis works because right from the moment of birth, the learning centers in our brains are open to suggestions from other people.
Okay, close your eyes and imagine that your right hand is a very powerful magnet and your left hand is a piece of metal. My job as a hypnotist is to establish dominance over my clients, over my subjects, and to get them to do what I tell them to do. Now, if they are properly hypnotized, I can take control of their reactive mind, their subconscious, so that they cannot consciously resist what I tell them to do. So if they're hypnotized and I say, every time I look at my watch, you look at yours, then they'll do it. Even if they don't want to. Even if they think it's stupid and silly, then they will do it. And in the same sense, I can say, every time the phone rings, you don't pick up a cigarette. You stay calm and relaxed. So I get control over their mind and I can program them as they want to be programmed.
With a series of rhythmic and repetitive instructions, he appeals to the unconscious part of a patient's brain. She doesn't go to sleep. She doesn't lose consciousness, but does become open to his suggestion that she can take control over her own problems.
A lot of times, it's possible to go into a hypnotic state without even knowing it. And people will recognize these states of minds. For example, driving down the motorway, you miss your exit. What happened? Or you suddenly arrive 50 miles and you have no idea how you got there. Okay, right, you ready for this test? Mm-hmm. Okay, look at my finger here and see. Okay, now, stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Your whole body stiff and rigid like a steel bar, right from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Make a tight fist here, tight fist there. Let your arms come down, stiff and rigid like a steel bar. That's good, okay?
Many hypnotists win the trust of their patients by getting them to do things like this that seem to be impossible, but are actually easier than they look.
This takes you into deeper hypnosis. Down, deeper.
Most people have never tried to do this and are inclined to believe that someone who does can only do so because she is hypnotized.
So you're going to come all the way back.
That may not be true, but the importance of such stagey demonstrations is that they put subjects into a frame of mind which predisposes them to accept the next suggestion from the hypnotist, which may be the one that is crucial to their therapy.
Keep your body stiff. Stiff, 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 stiff. All the way in your back as well. Stiff. That's great. And just relax and keep it stiff, just like that. Hypnosis has always been there, will always be there. It's just that Western medicine has gone down a dead-end road. They've realized that now, and they're coming back to the hardcore reprogramming of the subconscious mind, the actual hypnosis.
In Valencia, Dr. Escudero says he is not a hypnotist, but he does use a similar technique to gain the confidence of his patients. In the training session with Rosa, he helps her to exercise self-control by suggesting that her arm is becoming numb, and then proves that it must be numb because she feels no pain. This sort of positive reinforcement may not be hypnotism, but it is a very good way of encouraging people to do what they believe to be impossible to do.
Noise therapy has nothing at all to do with hypnosis. Of course, our patients are using the brain, but in a conscious way and with full knowledge of how it works. Nobody manipulates them. They are the ones who intelligently use the information.
Escudero's enthusiasm and conviction is infectious. He carries his patients and his family along with him. His daughter, Maria Teresa, works as his scrub nurse, and she believes very strongly in her father's approach.
I decided to work with my father, first of all, because I was always keen on his profession. I have watched him operate since I was 7 years old. I used to come into the operating theater. I saw what he was doing, and I found it very exciting, especially the way he does it, because I was trained in a completely traditional way.
She joins Escudero and their patient in the second part of her operation, the exposure of a vein in her groin with a faulty valve. Rosa still seems totally unconcerned. This is not a difficult surgical procedure.
Well, I noticed I was quite relaxed. It was quite a gentle feeling. Actually, it was quite pleasant.
But the real beauty of Dr. Escudero's procedure is that they also benefit from more rapid healing, from complete freedom from antibiotics or anesthetics, and a lower risk of any complications.
The more natural human's abilities are used, the less chemical help the patient will need. The less chemicals used, the better for the patient and the better for the medical team.
Dr. Escudero attributes his surgical success to positive thinking. He believes that anything can be accomplished with the right mental approach, and he carries this proactive attitude over into all other aspects of his life. He has composed over 800 piano pieces and 2 entire symphonies, all without any formal musical training. Escudero says, thought conducts the whole of life's orchestra. And if you can avoid pain by thinking, then why not fear and disease? He sees no reason why anyone should not be successful at almost anything, and has moved on now from music to art, producing bold engravings on marble with a dentist's drill. At work or play, Escudero's life is a fine example of the power of the mind over all obstacles. In China, warrior monks of the Shaolin tradition show similar application, growing strong through meditation, becoming able to endure almost anything. They find inner peace through outer ordeal, subduing the self, but ending up with a degree of self-control that is awesome. The key to such development is always meditation. Control of the mind leads to control of the body, and to an array of almost superhuman feats of strength, endurance, and agility. Each such performance is designed not for show, but to demonstrate how it is possible, through the exercise of the mind, to accomplish the apparently impossible. These skills were practiced first as a part of Buddhist worship in the Yellow Mountains of China, where concentrated meditation was used to awaken the true nature inside everyone. But it isn't necessary now to go all the way to China to achieve such mastery. In New York, a graduate of the City University practices Kung Fu Wushu, another of the martial arts dedicated to spiritual enlightenment. Robert Thomas may be the only vice president of a Wall Street bank who can also break paving stones with his head. It
allows you to open up your mind. It allows you to concentrate. There's a lot of concentration that needs to take effect in order for you to demonstrate this power. The meditation helps you to clear your mind and then pull yourself together by separating all of the other influences that might be out there and the other things that you may be thinking about. Through meditation, you can ignore those things and develop the concentration of power that you need to perform the discipline techniques.
The disciplines themselves came direct from China through the family of Grandmaster Lun Li.
The meditation is a focus, everything together. So very important. If you're not focused, you cannot accomplish the thing. It's testing how good the human body can build to.
To perform the nail bed, basically you have to practice meditation. You have to think about your concentration. To perform the feat itself, initially you do a set of breathing exercises. You do breathing. What I did to do the nail bed was Dantian breathing, that's what it's called. Basically it helps you prepare your mind and put yourself in a specific state. Once you do that, you start concentrating on what it is that you're going to do, and then your mind slips into a meditation that allows you to take the weight and the force of the nails that are sticking into you.
We know that stress increases pain, so it's not unreasonable to suggest that a lack of anxiety can help to eliminate pain and prepare those involved for such ordeals. It has taken Robert Thomas, at the bottom of this uncomfortable pyramid, 5 years to prepare for this ordeal, but he counts this time well spent on the road to enlightenment. Most people today are too impatient to spend years learning difficult disciplines. We want results. We want them now. So we look for less demanding ways in which we can alter consciousness and transcend our everyday lives.